What's up, crypto fiends? Average crypto investor, aka passive income machine, here to talk about Thor's recent reward reduction and their Thor's Day AMA. As always, nothing said in this video is financial advice, and you should always do your own research before investing into any project. So the big news is finally here, a reward reduction. For most of us, this was just a matter of time, otherwise the project would have imploded. There are some winners, some losers, as well as some interesting tidbits of alpha that we receive, which I will be covering shortly. But before I do, if you are happy with the rewards change, go ahead and like this video. If you are unhappy, leave a comment and let me know why. Perfect. So let's get into the actual reward structure. This update dropped right around 3:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, about an hour and a half before our normal Thor's Day time. Luckily, Loki was able to start the AMA shortly after dropping the announcement to stop some of the FUD. As you can tell by the chart here, the update caused a massive reactionary sell-off before the AMA started. As soon as Loki started talking, we saw the price starting to recover and cooler heads prevail. We were able to just climb back over $200 during the AMA before people began taking profits before the rewards are reduced and any other impending contract changes with the launch of the new contract. First, let's talk about the actual reward structure. HEIMDALLs are being reduced from 0.02125 Thor a day to 0.005 Thor a day. FREYA is being reduced from 0.13125 Thor a day to 0.031 Thor a day. Thor nodes are being reduced from 0.33125 a day to 0.144 a day. ODINs are being reduced from 2.7335 a day to 1.25 a day. Overall, this seems like a pretty dramatic cut, representing a 76% reduction for HEIMDALLs, 76% reduction for FREYAs, 66% reduction for Thors, and 64% reduction for ODINs. However, this wasn't the only change. Thor also announced the new flat claim tax rate for each tier, as well as proposed monthly maintenance fees. Before we get into those, we should take a second and acknowledge that there has been pushback from the community around these lower tier nodes being disproportionately affected by this update. These numbers may change soon or even before the video is released, but these are all accurate at time of recording. The next big change was the removal of the claim tax decay and moving to a flat claim tax. Previously, there was a 10% claim tax on HEIMDALLs, 15% on FREYAs, 20% on Thors, and 25% on ODINs if you claimed before your ROT period. This was the period in which you would make back 100% of your investment. If you claimed after this, your claim tax would be 1% and then reset upon your claim for another ROT period. Instead, they are now moving to a 7%, 12%, 15%, and 18% flat claim tax on their respective tiers. This means that every claim you do, outside of compounding into a new node, will be taxed at these rates. The final update that they had to announce was an introduction of monthly maintenance fees for your nodes. This was probably the part that was the most confusing to the community and caused the most panic. The announcement stated that the fees were a set amount of AVAX tiered to each node that would be on the sliding scale with AVAX price action. However, that was quickly clarified during the AMA that the team is looking for a monthly fee price target that can be paid in AVAX and potentially stablecoins. I was lucky enough to have the opportunity to ask Loki last night the price targets for these monthly fees. I had calculated that it was roughly $4 per HEIMDALL, $12 for FREYA, $20 for Thor, and $60 for ODIN. He said that was roughly right and would make it more clear on the new contract. So who are the winners and losers with the new reward announcement? Let's take a look at the net change in Thor tokens for each tier, and then we can take into consideration monthly maintenance fees and the like. For HEIMDALLs, they went from a 59-day ROI to 250 and a 1.70% daily ROI to a 0.40%. Their total return, if claimed after 30 days, went from 0.57375 to 0.1395 after taking tax into consideration. For FREYA, they went from a 48-day ROI to a 202 and a 2.1% daily ROI to 0.50%. Their total return, if claimed after 30 days, went from 3.346875 to 0.8184 after taking tax into consideration. For Thor nodes, they went from a 38-day ROI to an 87 and a 2.65% daily ROI to a 1.15. Their total return if claimed after 30 days went from 7.95 to 3.672 if taking taxes into consideration. The final tier, ODIN nodes, went from a 29-day ROI to a 63-day and a 3.50% daily ROI to a 1.60%. The total returns over 30 days went from 61.50375 to 30.75 if taking taxes into consideration. Judging by these numbers alone, it seems that the lower tier nodes are coming out of this change the worse off. However, there was some alpha drop that I believe will make up for it, which I will get to shortly. The winners in this change? I think it's anyone who invested in the protocol. At the end of the day, whether your ROI is 10 days or 100 days, you need to make sure that the protocol is around long enough to pay you and that there's enough interest to keep the price steady so that way you can make money. This is what the team at Thor is interested in and are actively working on building for sustainability purposes. Now on to the alpha. It has been said before that a node cap was coming, but we didn't have a good idea of when. Loki had stated in another AMA to not hold him to months, but during this AMA he stated the timeline of 1 to 2 months. Now obviously don't hold them to those exact dates, but we can see that the team is looking to institute a node cap sooner rather than later. Why this is so huge is that they're going to be launching an NFT marketplace for our nodes in conjunction with this cap. This will allow individuals to buy and sell their nodes in a peer-to-peer marketplace. In addition to this, there are booster NFTs coming similar to Strong's, which can enhance qualities such as rewards, reduce claim taxes, or maintenance fees. The reason that this is helpful in conjunction with the reward cut is because of the idea of a fixed supply. If there is a fixed supply of nodes, then the team can 100% understand their missions moving forwards. Once we understand our missions, we will be able to understand how to utilize our treasury to push the price either higher or lower. It is also a great idea for investors because it will allow current investors to sell their nodes for potentially higher than they bought for in the future. Since the rewards rate will be constant, any demand will have to go through the marketplace, and those that are willing to sell can increase their prices to match the levels of demand. I don't think it's going to be impossible to see 100 or even 200 Thor ODIN node when the marketplace launches. Some other alpha that recently dropped by HEIMDALL is we're going to have the potential to enhance our nodes or go and upgrade to a higher tier later on. The exact mechanisms behind this is unclear at this time, but hopefully we'll get some more information soon. All of this being said, I think the project needed a rewards cut desperately. We all enjoyed the money we were making at the time that we were making it, but it wasn't sustainable. The team is doing everything that they can to make sure that everyone succeeds, and I truly believe in their long-term future. Did you listen to the AMA yesterday or just read the announcements? Let me know in the comments below what you thought. As always, don't forget to like the video and subscribe with the bell notification turned on so that way you can be alerted when our next video goes live. That's all for now, take care, and don't forget, Crypto Fiends, we are all going to make it.